Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this section of reads. This should be viewed on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, just to be sure that's where you're seeing it. If you're not, let me know, or, go to YouTube to make sure you're getting the right one. Also, I am doing in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. If you're near there, go ahead and shoot me an email. I'll give you more details. The dice and decks that I'm using, that information should be below. Other than that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? I don't know where I don't know. I'm hoping this is fun, but we'll see. That was okay. Hello. That's a good thing, right? It's not bad. It just kind of shocked me. Like, woohoo. Like, are we having a party? Is it a good time? Ooh. There's a lot of good here. Why is this? It's delayed. Something is delayed. The Sun card at the bottom of the deck. Something is really good. It's delayed, and I don't feel like it hasn't shown itself correctly yet. It just hasn't. Why? Something is just not... It's how to explain. It's like hearing a song in the distance, but it's out of tune, and I don't realize what song it actually is. And it's just like, I'm more connecting to like, something's out of tune and it doesn't feel right. I'm not realizing if that song is in tune, it's actually something good. That's how this feels. Like, the energy is there for you. And it's like, it's not clicking in right. It's like, it's a very distorted sound. And it's like, you're catching on to the signals. You're knowing it's there. You know that something is playing in the background, but it's so distorted, or even if it's almost like it's bouncing off a bunch of like if you ever hear a song played in like a metal factory, or like a mechanic's shop or something, where there's a lot of metal around and the sound's bouncing off of too many things, and you can hear that there's a song and you're like, I think I normally like that song, but it sounds really wacky right now and it's not really working for me. It's kind of like that. Like, you're clicking into like something is going on here, but it's just so distorted. It needs to be like, it's almost like another analogy, which I feel like might hit better. There's too many stimuli. You might be picking up on too many things at once, or like, how to explain this? It's like the TV, the radio, and something else going on. And it's kind of like they're meshing in a way where I can't seem to pull them apart and see what each one of them's about. Like, the way they're meshing together, it just is not comfortable. Something here, because, Scorpio tends to be psychic. They tend to be at some level. And I know I've had some people dispute me on that, but you're a water sign. You tend to have it. Even if you're unaware of it, you guys tend to have it to some level. Maybe even if you don't want it. I'm getting, the energy is there, and it's just, it's not making sense right now. It's kind of like, life might be very all over the place. There might be a couple subjects that are just driving you cuckoo. Could be. Something is setting your balance off. Something is setting the balance off. It's just not happening. It's kind of like, it's kind of like, if you're a little bit inebriated, it's hard to walk a straight line. It just is. Depending on how inebriated you are. Good point. But, but if something in this situation is throwing you off, it's like you're getting the signal, but it's distorted, I'm telling you. Because I feel like whatever's going on here, you are right, but you're wrong at the same time. I'm sorry. You're right and you're wrong at the same time. You're right. You're getting the message. You're wrong about what it is. I don't know how to explain it. Because there's more conflicting energy, more randomness going back and forth, more this and that. There is success here. But I feel like the success comes forward, but then it doesn't sound right. So I'm like, wait, it looks good, but is that actually a red flag? I don't know. What's going on here? It's kind of like when you meet somebody and then you see that they're upset about something, And like whatever they're upset about might be very valid and they're just venting about something. And it's kind of like, I barely know you. I can't believe I'm seeing this side of this person already. Like, this is not feeling right. I remember somebody telling me this once, like, they were just on, like, the third date or something, and this person had a really bad day, and they were venting about something. They weren't violent, but I think the words they chose were not the best, just to be fair. And they almost called it quits there, but after a while of getting to know them, that wasn't their normal pace. It's just whatever happened that day, which I feel like was something significant, really threw them off, and they were processing it, and that's just what happened. So it's kind of like they were right, something's not right, but they were like, it's the thing is, I'm not saying anybody should accept red flags, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying stepping back and like, what were the flags? So like people being upset, right? People being upset is a normal thing. How they're expressing that is another thing. So there's something about that there. I don't know, why did I even go down that road is a great question, because I feel like there's something here that like I'm identifying as a red flag that's like, is it like violence is a red flag that's non-negotiable. Violence is a red flag, non-negotiable. But choice of wording, it depends. Like if it's like certain wording like, oh, you're racist, okay, that's a non-negotiable verbal red flag. Or something like, oh, you're dropping the F-bomb left and right in a very inappropriate area. That's kind of like, that we could do better with. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, oh, that we could do better. You're using language like the F-bomb in a public place and it makes me uncomfortable. We could work on that. We can work on that, especially if it's not their normal mode of communication. Versus like somebody saying racist comments, it's like, oh, that's a hard stop. Oh, that's a hard stop. I just feel like anybody who starts, especially if they're really open in the beginning about that, I'm like, whoa, that's the thing. That's a you were born to type thing. That's a gift from the universe. Like, this is here. Here's a gift. This is what's going on here. Do you really want to be near that? Boom. Anyway, I feel like whatever else this situation is entailing, I am questioning loyalty. And I feel like that's also making me nervous with this situation. I think of Scorpio as very loyal. I don't know if it's just my relation to Scorpio or if that's just how it is. Let me know in the comments. But I do feel like Scorpio is loyal, but they don't put up with like bad things at the same time. So like they're loyal where loyal makes sense. They're good to people who are good to them. They won't let people walk all over them. And I feel like Scorpio won't allow people to just be negative and just back them up on that. I feel like Scorpio will be like, listen, I'm not going to let anybody else beat the crap out of you, but if you do that again around me, I'm not going to say that's okay. Like, I feel like that's part of Scorpio's loyalty. Like, they don't put up with certain things. And they'll be like, they're loyal, but they're loyal in a way that, like, we're going to deal with this type of loyal. That's how I see Scorpio. I don't know if I'm right with that. Let me know in the comments. Because I feel like I'm backing things off. I'm holding things back. There's success here. There has to be a way to check this so you know if this is actually... Because we don't want to be accepting red flags. If it's a red flag, like, we don't want to be accepting red flags. Like, that's okay. But it's like, again, with the verbal, like, dropping the F-bomb in inappropriate places. It's like, I feel like we can work on that. That's not the best. We can work on that. Nobody's perfect. But, like, other certain things, you know, I go, oh, no, that's a hard stop. Making sure we're in the right place for that. People aren't perfect. I don't know. There's nobody on this planet that's perfect. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's Gandhi. Gandhi wasn't perfect either. But I like Gandhi. Gandhi was a good one. Gandhi was a good one. I like Gandhi. But I'm just saying, nobody comes into this life or stays perfect. We all have our messy pieces. I'm just saying. Mother Teresa, whoever you want to throw in there. There's a lot of really beautiful, good people out there, but nobody's perfect. And I feel like those people would actually acknowledge that, by the way. So, I don't know why I went there, but we were there. The truth is coming forward really fast. Really fast. Something is coming forward. I get like it's the truth. I feel like it's like communication. Well, I mean, communication doesn't have to be verbal, does it? All right. It's what's not being said. So, it's what's not being said. It was the Knight of Swords reversed, So I don't think, it might not be verbal. There's some type of influence here where it's kind of like I'm getting the full picture, because I also got the Empress reversed, which I feel like somebody is being selfless and they're not saying what they really want. They seem to be trying to say what you want. The Knight of Swords reversed and the Empress reversed is somebody else is not, they're not looking out for their own needs. When the Empress is reversed, that's somebody who is not looking out for their own needs. That is out of balance. They can be very caring and giving, but it's not balanced. It's not good. It's like when somebody's over giving, or they're like, I don't really want to do that, but you want me to do it, so I'll do it for you. Like, that's the Empress out of balance, reversed. And like, the Knight of Swords reversed is like they should be saying the truth that they don't really want to do something. They may not even be telling you that. Which, that's not a good way to handle things. That's not a good way to handle things. I'm rolling my eyes because I've been that person, and I'm just like, that's a hard lesson when you sell yourself to a situation and you feel like it'll get you where you want to go because you think that's what they want. That's a bad way to live life. I learned that lesson the hard way. At least I learned it, though, I guess. I'm cringing at that whole like, oh yeah, okay. So the truth comes forward because whatever they're doing, you know it. You know exactly what the truth is. They're trying to do something. They don't want to do it, but they want you to be happy. And you catch on like in 5 seconds. Less even. Just, you got it. You're like, you don't want to do that. That's not what you want to do. You're like, you don't want to really do that. It's like, I don't know, what's another analogy? Like going for a run. Like I'm a person that I like to work out. And somebody else who is like, they don't like doing that, but they're like, oh, I love to. Let's go do that. Let's do that every day. And then it's kind of like, I know you don't like doing that. Like, I know that you hate that. You said to me once, the only time you run it is if somebody's chasing you with a knife. Like, you don't want to run. I know you don't. Like, it's kind of like, no, I know you don't. So it's kind of like, no, I know the truth. Does that, I mean, I'm not saying, okay, let's just see. You don't know what to do with that when that happens. I feel like you don't know what to do with that when that happens. You see it, you know it, you would immediately identify it, but you don't know what to do with it. Take a minute and let yourself sit with it is kind of a good idea, possibility. This is not the moment for healing. I know this is the healing card, but this is saying this is what's not going to actually happen here. You could call it out if you feel so necessary. I don't feel like it's going to get this situation to correct. I feel like it's just going to, if, for example, if something like that happens, somebody's just saying, I'm going to go for, yeah, I'd love to go for a run for you. I love, every day, every moment, I love to run. Yeah, you're like, sure. If you call it out, I feel like, I don't feel healing's going to happen. They just might run from it. I don't really see people dealing with it and going, oh, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't do that again. I feel like they're just embarrassed and just trying to cope with being embarrassed. Not that you shouldn't at some point. I feel like they're saying the timing for the healing, this might not be the moment for the healing. If you desire that later, it's a later thing. But I feel like for your energy, for your well-being, for your point of view, to know what you're really dealing with here, step back. And I almost feel like, because like if somebody was going to tell me, oh, I'd love to go running, blah, 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 and I know they don't, I'd be like, you know what, I'll think about it. I got some other things I got to do, and I'll get back to you on that. I don't think I'd partake in it, because I'm like, I feel like I would just kind of pull back and just kind of like, I'll let you know. But I feel like I need to sit with it, like, why are they trying to impress me? Why are they why do they want me to like them so much? Why do they want you to like them so much? I'm just saying. This could be family, friend, romance, could be anything. I don't know why I'm being so facetious about it, but this is here too, I'm just saying. Whatever this is, I don't think somebody's trying to be whatever they're being. I feel like this is just, maybe this is what they think they need to do to get on your good side, which is not really how that's going to work. But if they're at least trying to make the effort, I feel like maybe, because like I'm seeing this again, and like, what is that? that little child on the horse have, but a red flag. Like, that cracks me up. It's funny, not funny, because it's kind of like, is there a red flag here, or just the way they're trying to handle it is a red flag, and they could do better. Like, trying to people please and trying to make themselves palatable to what they think you want is not going to work. They probably need a little work on that, but this isn't the moment for that. But the fact that it's like having good intentions but doing something that ain't so good, that's not so good, whatever. I feel like having good intentions is a good baseline to build from. Even if they're not doing it the right way, as long as they're willing to work on it, I feel like that could go places. It's up to you. Whatever you feel about it is what you got to do. The vibration is rising here. I don't know if I said it, but there you go. Things are improving here. Things are getting better. You get a moment to think about it, and you kind of like, they want your attention. They want you to like them. Do you want that? Do you want that? Be careful of overthinking it. Step back, sort it out for yourself. Does this situation deserve a chance? You're not locked into anything. It doesn't have to be a stress point, but it could get stressful if you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. You're allowed to try a flavor and not commit to it. It reminds me of like, getting a large salad. You can ask for the dressing on the side, try it, and you just say, I just want to try it. And then they can put it on the side, a little piece to try. If you like it, get more of it. You don't like it, or you're like, I don't know, I'd rather go with something else, go with something else. You're not stuck with anything. Just get to know this energy on your terms. I feel like if there's question marks and there's a little stress with it, I'm getting whatever this is, they're saying, get to know it a little better on your terms could serve you greatly. It doesn't mean you're committed to anything or you're going to do anything you don't want to. I hope you wouldn't. Like, that would be a people-pleasing thing. Don't do that. Don't do yourself a favor. Don't bother with that. I don't think Scorpio usually does, but there's a lot of flavor of Scorpio, so maybe sometimes. Get a taste of the flavor on your terms. See if this is something. This energy, whatever it is, it does have a lot to give. Is it perfect? No. Were you expecting that? I doubt it. I feel like Scorpio's very much on the reality train, kind of like, yeah, no, that doesn't exist. There's a lot for this situation to offer, whoever, whatever it may be, a lot. And it's not all going to be good. It's not going to all be bad. There's going to be a mix. There's going to be room to grow, which depends how you feel about that. I will give a heads up here. I'm getting, if you taste the flavor, whatever that means, give it a shot. You may end up really connected. Maybe this is something that's making you nervous. Kind of like, yeah, I could see myself getting into that flavor. But I don't know if it's really good for me to be into that flavor. And maybe that's what you're nervous about. Because I'm getting, you could end up really, really being happy with this situation. But they got this card here too. They're saying, you're going to keep checking yourself. You're going to keep second guessing every now and then. Meditation is a beautiful thing, especially, I feel like especially for water signs, but probably for all signs, if we're going to be fair. You don't have to do it like at hours at a time. I know one person does it for like 5 to 10 minutes a day in the morning. It can just bring your feelings to the surface and let you know how you feel about something. I'm getting, whatever this is that you may be nervous about, like, I don't know if I should let that energy into my life. You have grown and you're a lot stronger. You've always been strong, but you're more perceptive. I feel like that's a better word to use. Things you might have let slip by before thinking, oh, that's not that bad. Nowadays, you're like, oh, no, that's bad. Oh, that's not. We're not going to do that. You've grown. You've learned. You're a lot more seasoned than you used to be. You're not just a plain old piece of chicken. You are you're special sauces and all that stuff now. So you got a lot going for you. You'll be able to handle this. And if this turns out to be something that's not for you, you'll be able to get out of it. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.